backstage here at the Forbes BLK Summit here in Atlanta, and I am joined by the beautiful Fantasia. Thank you so much. You just got off stage, rocked it, killed it. The energy, the crowd loved you. What did you think of the event? How you liking it?
I think that you guys should keep this going forever and ever and ever.
Thank you.
It allows people to come in and be educated. It feels free. The room felt really, really free. So I thought I was going to be nervous, but then I got out there and then speaking with you, you make all that go away. It felt like I was just talking to a friend, a cousin, my brother. And we are encouraging, inspiring, and just sharing information that we probably wouldn't share in certain rooms that we can share in this room.
Absolutely. And listen, I want to say congrats to you because the world probably knows by now when this video comes out, but Hollywood Walk of Fame. I mean, the emotion is there. I know it's just hit. I don't want to get you crying, but you know, what do you think you're going to feel in that moment when you're out there in Hollywood, fans surrounded you, maybe celebrities who will come out just to praise you? How do you think you're going to feel?
I don't know, but I will say this, Jay. And by the way, he's my brother now, so I call him Jay.
I appreciate it.
I say this, I want to show them that how a girl from around the way can get a star and still show up and be an around the way girl. If that makes any sense.
It does, yeah.
You know, like, it's a big thing to have, but I want people to see that you can experience big things without changing who you are. You understand? Like, how that feels even better for me to go and do that and be out in Hollywood, which right up the street is where I won. It was, at the time, I think it was the Kodak Theater. They changed the name now, but I won there. So I keep seeing these full circle moments. I worked with Jimmy Jam when I was probably about 18, before Idol. The fact that he announced it today, I didn't even know.
Wow.
I keep seeing these full circle moments. So because these full circle moments are happening, I'm like, God, I promise you that I'm gonna walk them the same Tasia that started out, just so that people can see that we can fulfill everything that God has for us without changing who we are.
Well, this is a big year for you because like 2024 here, you already get your Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? And then you also started Rock Soul Productions. We talked about it a little bit on the stage, but one of the things I didn't ask you was what's the biggest positive surprise about being the CEO? Positive surprise.
I guess the positive is that I wake up every morning knowing that I'm putting in the work for myself. There were times back then you're like, I dread getting on this call because I don't know how it's gonna go and I don't know da. I'm like, if I'm gonna have that feeling, I might as well put the work in with. I was speaking to a young man the other day who I've been speaking into for a while. And he said something to me and I said, young man, if you're gonna go through that work for somebody else, you might as well go through it for yourself.
That's right. That's what your grandma told you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody
with
do it.
positives comes negatives.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest negative surprise about being CEO? I know personnel changes happen, but what's the negative surprise?
The negative is you don't know who you're getting when it comes to an employee. And you have to navigate that with, you gotta be careful. Make sure you don't hurt nobody, offend nobody. We're living in a season and a time where everybody is fighting, right? Or struggling. And so you don't wanna ever push somebody into a bad place. You wanna push them into a better place, but if it doesn't work for your company, there's gotta be a push, whether it's to the left or to the right. And you gotta figure out how to do that. And so that's been hard for me. I'm a Cancer. So I'm the loving, nurturing, want to take care of everybody. And it's not easy for me to walk away from someone because I do believe that the ministry that I have is I went through everything I went through to show people like, yo, see when I was down there, you can get back up. But sometimes you just reach people that just ain't ready to get up in the manner of time that needs to be done for a business. That makes sense?
What's that?
When you're running a business, you can take care of other people when it's not business. You can call. I'm gonna keep pushing, I'm gonna keep trying. But when it's business, you don't got that many chances. And so I think that has been the hardest thing.
Well, what's in store for Rock Soul? I mean, listen, it's your own production company. You said new music is coming, so I'm assuming it's gonna come through Rock Soul.
Yes, sir. More than music.
Yeah.
Broadway, documentaries on the legends that, I would share a legend that's coming on board, but I can't share it right now. But in October, it will be announced.
Nice.
And this is a big one for me. And so bringing on legends and actually showing them that the stage is not all you have to do. You don't just have to sing. What else do you like? Clothes? Okay, let's go start your own clothing. Okay, you want a documentary? You want to do movies? You want to do Roxo Productions is going to show artists that you have greater in you than just picking up a mic and singing. Because I found that out.
Yeah. Now, within the business, like, what are you learning about it? Because I know you're still in business school, right? So if you had to describe Fantasia, the businesswoman, in one word, like right now, what would it be?
Patience.
Patience.
Good God Almighty, seriously. You've got to be patient. You can't be quick to reply. You can't be quick to do certain things because of your emotions. You got to check them and leave them at the door.
Yeah.
You're dealing with all these employees who are all different, female, male, and you got to learn how to sit with them and not meet them where they are, but bring them up. And that can be difficult, especially when you are a wife and a mother, and you need some time for you too. Yeah. So you just have to learn how to balance patience and balance.
Yeah. Well, you said wife, right? I know we talked about on the phone about, like, do you believe in the business of marriage? Because, you know you and your husband have a prenuptial.
Yeah.
But is it true? Is it a business of marriage? And if so, what goes on in that business? Because everything that you're doing, you also have to talk to your husband on a personal level because there's finances involved.
Yeah.
What's that business of marriage like?
I think the good thing about me and Ken, that's my honey, money has never been our issue.
Yeah.
Money has never been a thing with me. Like, I don't really care about it. I could have like $100 in my pocket in my line, and we are driving, and I see what on the streets and what I do.
Give it to him.
What?
Your last 100. Give it
What?
to him.
Immediately. So there's this one guy, I ain't gonna say his name, he's in Charlotte. I check on him all the time. He's my friend. He don't know who I am. He has no clue. And for some reason, I don't know why, he stood out to me like he was just right here when I passed by. I was like, I gotta stop. So when I stopped the first time, I called him over and I was like, how do I teach this man that he is still seen and loved and God loves him? And God was just like, tell him I love him. Okay, so now God's like, now I'm gonna leave it up to you to show him what my love is. I pulled over and I know we gotta go soon, but I was like, hey man, I started it off with God loves you, right? He was looking at me like, yeah, okay, what you gonna give me? And I was like, look, have you ate today? Have you drank? What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. What's your favorite drink? Da, 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 da. Because my grandmother used to tell me, I grew up in church, but she would say, when you give somebody something, don't judge what they buy. Because in that moment, that's their, a man on the street, if they're getting drunk, that's their way of not being cold at night. That's their way of getting away from everything that they're going through. And I know all these sounds are happening because they don't want what I got to say to get through, but it's getting through.
Yeah. But the mic ain't picking it up.
Okay, it ain't picking good. That is their way of living a night of not worrying about certain things. So I said, what you like to drink? He told me. I gave him everything and I said, don't forget, God love you. I kept doing that week after week. Now when I pull up on him, you know what the first thing he say to me? He'll come up to my car and be like, you know God love me, right? Somebody gave me these tennis shoes. That was my way of showing him that God loves you. He still, I say, you know what my name is? You forgot my name? He was like, Fantasias. I'm all, whatever, Tasia, whatever you want to call it. But that is my work. So I feel like God has placed me here to give and be a part of people and to open up businesses and to give a single mom or a single father or somebody that fail and they say you can't get back up. Because I did it. And I went through it publicly. So I think that's my ministry, man. Let me just stop because I'll start preaching.
I was going to ask, did you learn that? Because you have your own full circle moments. And I remember you saying how you were wondering if God was listening to you. And that nail lady came and said, God is listening to you you didn't even know her. Right? You did not know. And
I just told the story again. Okay.
And so, like, do you feel yourself, man, like, here somebody is telling me this, I got to go do that for someone else? Is that like?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Of course I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot counted me out, bro. And they said I would never. I sometimes feel like, how did I make it out of all of that? Out of losing everything twice, having to pay back $1 million worth of taxes, still bringing in accountants that's taking all my money. I'm going through something right now that it is what it is. It's necessary, but I'll come up out of it. But I will.
I love about you don't hold grudges. Like you,
no.
you say let the heavens deal with them. You know, they'll get what's coming to them. Right? I respect that. I'm petty. Like, I'm petty, right? Like, I'm telling you. But you know, I ain't gonna lie. I'm petty. I don't try, and on stage I receive your message. I don't want to revenge. I'm just petty. Like if you don't call me back, I ain't gonna answer your call. Like when you call me next week,
You should be like that.
I know. I'm dropping it. I'm listening to you.
We're human.
Yes.
And I understand that feeling. But I think for me, I just always go back to the word, and especially now, I hang on to it really tight because every promise he made, he kept. So I just feel like I just have to trust the word. I've trusted it thus far, and it hasn't proven me wrong. God will forever keep his promise. And so sometimes, I said it today, there was a producer that I worked with, Diane Warren. She texted me today and said, I'm proud of you. For the start, I sit on the committee, and I voted. I was one of the hands that voted for you. She said, to be honest with you, every hand was lifted, and I was very proud of you. I told my team, it's how I carry myself. I ain't never treated nobody with no disrespect, even in times when I was like, okay, now you're trying to push me. But I'd be like, I'll let God fight my battles, because he said, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. So if something happens, I just let God fight it. And we keep it moving, because you got a business. As soon as you step out of pocket, they come after you what? That's right. Your business.
Business. Right. And it's perception. Businesses carries a perception with it, right? With the bad name.
Yeah.
Well, listen, in the business, right? If you're navigating independency, you're navigating a production company. What else is in line? I heard you said you got a candle company coming. You know, I don't want to ignore you on that. Why candles?
It's here already. Addie's. My grandmother, her name was Addie. And remember, I told you the story.
Fantasia,
My grandma, she named me Fantasia. My grandmother was a classy woman, classy, elegant, God-fearing, would help anybody. And so I have to allow her legacy to live on. And so when we would walk into her house, you would smell beautiful candles. She would walk around with gowns and things on that was so elegant and classy. And I just want to bring a piece of that into this season of my grandmother to the women, letting them know that, you know, we as women already have to deal with a lot. With mothers, with wives, you know, we have to hold up kings. We have to keep them covered and keep them prayed up, but then what do we do for ourselves? Smelling good, having some candles around the house, good food, nice champagne. I do like my champagne, and soon there will be a wine, because I bet you didn't know I had my sommelier certificate.
That's what I'm telling. I want to know what's in your portfolio, right?
Now let me be honest with y'all. It took me 3 times to take that test. Am I lying? I failed 3 times. I went back and said, I'm not going to give up. Because to learn wine and grapes and the regions and all this stuff is a lot. But I wanted people to understand when I walk in the room and I have my wine that it's just not a black girl coming in putting her name on something just because she got a name. She put her name on something because she believes in it, and she's educated herself in it. And so my grandmother was that woman. She loved good things, and I'm going to keep her legacy alive and teach our young women that you ain't got to give everything. You can show a little bit. You can leave a little something for the imagination.
Yeah. Are you going to be in retail stores?
Of course. That's my plan.
Okay.
So you have to write the vision and make it plain.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to get you out of here on this because we got a lot to talk about business, you know, Black Business Month coming up, and I want to dive in soon. But I promise you I was going to get you on this question, the Jim Collins book, Good to Great.
Yes.
And I said,
somebody blessed me with that book today.
I know. I saw it before.
Oh, that's weird. Wait, you helped them?
No, I didn't, but we were on a call. We were talking. I told you I was going to ask you that question, right? And so I'm glad because someone, and I let you tell me, but they bought you that book.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm glad. I hope you read it and enjoy it.
Oh, I want to say this.
Yeah.
That was my teammate. So that was good. They were on the call.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to tell you. I'm glad you know. Yeah, okay.
I didn't, but I will say this. You got to pick a team in your business where they're listening and they're protecting the head. And she went and got that book because you said it. Wow.
Yeah. Look at God looking out for you.
I love you, Lord. Lord, I love you.
Well, listen, what's the difference between, and thinking good to great, the difference between a good singer and a great?
One that's not afraid to show it all. One that's not afraid to show it all. On stage especially. Like I'm not thinking about what's my pretty angle, I'm not allowing the music to use me to bless other people. One that's not afraid to show it all. That means you squall it out, you sing pretty notes, or you sing, you know what I mean? And I always think of James Brown. I always think of Tina Turner. I always think of Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle. Oh, the list goes on. There's a lot of gospel artists, but one that's not afraid to get up on stage and give it all, show it all, and allow things to just be. Yeah.
Fantasia, we love you. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you for all these years blessing people, healing people through your music, and then also healing people through interviews like this. You're inspiring, motivating, and we love you. Thank you so much, and congratulations again. You deserve that star because you are.
Thank you, Jay.
Absolutely.